The other thing that really fascinated me, I ended up writing a book on it, ended up getting taught around the world. Alhamdulillah, it's even being used in one of the Islamic studies courses at Harvard now, is Divine Speech. It's a book I dedicated along with my student to why is this book, why am I believing that it's divine? What's making me think this? And I wrote it for a non-Muslim audience, actually. It's a little bit academic, but the point of it was there are elements to this book and the way that it's structured that if you went to the library or you got on Amazon and bought yourself a translation of the Quran, you started reading it, you think the subject is kind of going all over the place, right? It's not staying on the same subject, right? It's saying some profound things, but the organization seems unlike anything I've ever read. And that was one of the things that baffled me at first. Like, why is it organized in this way? And so one of the areas of my study became the organization of the Quran. Why is it organized in this way? Why is God talking in this disarray? And what I discovered was something absolutely breathtaking, that it's got a symmetrical structure, that you'll have a chapter, for example, that's hundreds of verses, like Baqarah is 286 verses. It's an oral tradition, so it wasn't written first, it was recited and pronounced and memorized in that way. Amounts to about 50 pages in Arabic, right? But if you study the subject matter, the 9 subjects that are occurring in this long 50-page discourse are like subject 1 is directly tied to subject 9, and 2 to 8, and 3 to 7, and 4 to 6, and 5 right center in the middle. Like, there's an incredible 3-dimensional structure to the way the argument's being presented. Like, human beings, we think linear, right? I'm going to make point A, then I'm going to make point B, then I'm going to make point C. That's how I organize my thoughts. And unless you write something down and say, you know what, I'm going to do this, and just for fun, I'm going to do A, B, C, and then go C, B, A, right? Even doing that in 6 sentences is hard for me as I'm sitting here talking to you, because my brain isn't wired that way. But this millennium and a half old tradition has got multiple surahs and multiple chapters where this kind of a structure is demonstrated over and over again, and other kinds of structures. You're like, this is not possible for a human being to do. Linguistically, it's not possible. I'm a student of linguistics. It's just not possible. These kinds of structures, this kind of organization. That's one of the things I wrote about in the book. And I ended up teaching courses on this stuff.